2 women have been arrested following a drug bust. On the 3rd of April, deputies searched a home along Regina Drive in Twiggs County, Georgia, and found 900 grams of meth, which equates to roughly 2 pounds. They found meth hidden in baby diapers inside the house, as well as meth hidden in the yard. 3 children who lived at the home were removed. Investigators arrested 34-year-old Jalen Star Walton and 39-year-old Casey Bondi Rashid on trafficking charges. The arrest followed a 3-month investigation which revealed multiple sales of meth in that neighbourhood. Both women are held at the Twiggs County Jail without bond. Authorities are investigating after a woman was fatally shot in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania over the weekend. 33-year-old Brianna Black is charged with criminal homicide in the death of 48-year-old Beth Swartz. The incident occurred at around 8:45 p.m. on Sunday the 9th of April in the apartment parking lot of Beth's residence in the 100 block of South Prince Street. Beth managed to call 911 using a cell phone and said she'd been shot by Brianna, who lives just around the corner along East Orange Street. First responders arrived and found Beth with a gunshot wound to her chest, laying on the ground on her back in a critical condition. She was transported to a York hospital where she died. Brianna's living girlfriend, Shelby Van Pelt, was interviewed by state police and she told them that Brianna shot Beth. She said that Beth and Brianna knew each other and the two got into an argument over the phone that night regarding the supply of drugs. Brianna then left her home with a pistol and confronted Beth in the parking lot when Shelby said she heard a gunshot. After Brianna returned home, Shelby asked her multiple times what happened. Brianna responded, "I just shot her." Shelby said that Brianna then put the gun on the desk and called her sister in Florida. Shelby heard Brianna say, "I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to jail." Shelby told investigators that Brianna had been smoking weed and drinking beer. She also said that Beth gives Brianna pills, possibly oxycodone, and that she owes her pills. Shelby told authorities that she owns a pistol used in the shooting, and that Brianna would often take it with her because she feels she needs it for protection. Brianna was arrested at her home and charged with Beth's murder. She's held at the Cumberland County Prison. A 57-year-old man has been charged with murder and felonious assault after reportedly shooting his wife and her son multiple times in the Hilltop area of Columbus, Ohio early Monday morning. Alfred Davis Jr. was arrested at a home next door to where the shooting had been reported on the 200 block of South Eureka Avenue following a domestic dispute. Authorities had been called to the home at around 3:45 a.m. on Monday the 10th of April on a report of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found 22-year-old Joshua Farmer and his 47-year-old mother with gunshot wounds. Joshua was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics. The woman was rushed to the Grant Medical Center in a stable condition. She's expected to recover from her injuries. The woman told officers that her husband had shot her son. She said prior to the shooting, Alfred had been kicking and beating her. Alfred had gone to his next-door neighbor's home with a handgun he reportedly used during the shooting in his hands. He told neighbors that he'd shot his eldest son. It's unclear if Alfred is Joshua's biological father. During an interview with detectives, Alfred denied assaulting his wife or son and said that he shot them in self-defense. Alfred is held at the Franklin County Jail and is scheduled to have his first court appearance on Tuesday. 26-year-old Giovanni Vale has been arrested for allegedly fatally stabbing 83-year-old Ramon Citron in an elevator in an apartment building and injuring 2 women in apparent random attacks. Giovanni's violent spree began at around 1 p.m. on the 8th of April, when he randomly punched a 47-year-old woman at the intersection of Pacific Street and 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. In less than half an hour, Giovanni then approached a 31-year-old woman at the front of a building at 134 Niven Street and proceeded to slash her right thigh with a sharp object before running off. Shortly before 2 p.m, police found Ramon laying on his back in a pool of blood after he was stabbed to death in an elevator on the 19th floor of Wyckoff Houses at 185 Niven Street, just steps from his apartment. Surveillance cameras in the building showed Giovanni entering the building at around 1:30 p.m. and disappearing from view for about 11 minutes before he was seen returning to the lobby in different clothes. Shortly before 1:45 p.m, he then gets into the elevator with Ramon, with the two seen chatting before Giovanni pulls out a knife and stabs the elderly man in the neck. Giovanni then kicks Ramon before he's seen running to the stairwell and fleeing the scene. A neighbour spotted Ramon's lifeless body when his foot blocked the elevator door from closing and called 911. Investigators said that Giovanni and Ramon lived in the same building. On Monday the 10th of April, The New York Police Department announced Giovanni was located and taken into custody. Giovanni reportedly turned himself in for a psychiatric evaluation at a hospital in Brooklyn. A neighbor of Giovanni said he had issues and said this incident wasn't the first time he's got himself into a situation where he hurt someone in the building with cuts or slashings. Giovanni had 3 prior arrests, 2 for assaults and forcible touching. Charges are pending.